Okay. Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is a real quick impromptu video. Um, I'm just going to kind of blather here for a minute in case people are just now finding this. I just posted this on YouTube, and this is, I think, only the second time I've been using YouTube's new live stream thing. ODC, that's me, uses it quite a bit, which I think is really pretty cool. And I'm just seeing if I can copy and paste the actual link here. No, I can't. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and go like this. Maybe you'll just catch it later. So a big reason why I am doing this guy, Shazam, going to do an unboxing here, this way. I've been saying, hey, I'm going to be coming back doing stuff. So I started going through some older videos on my iPad and started editing them. Now my movie, the iMovie, is starting to give me fits and has taken all of my videos and uploaded them to the cloud. And it takes forever to download them back to the iPad. And the iPad I'm using, I don't know what generation it was, but it was an old one my wife wasn't using. So I thought, cool, I'll be able to use this to do some videos. It doesn't have a good amount of storage in it. So I'm in the process of trying to switch iPads. And if you've watched some of my Aquaman videos up to this point, I'm still catching up on some of the older videos that I shot almost a year ago, or I should say a year ago. It's probably like in November when the Aquaman movie came out, and like Spoiler and a couple of those other ones, that I started trying to go through those and get the iPad clean so I can try and stay current with stuff that's coming up. And it's failing miserably. And I almost tossed the iPad the other day because I was so ticked at it. So I got to go back and regroup and figure out if I can switch content between two different iPads so I can get the videos up here. So long story short, I've decided to do Shazam this way and do an unboxing. It's not about looking at my ugly mug. I want to show more of the figure. So I may revisit Shazam once I can figure out what's going on. But since everybody is just now, it's so funny with Shazam just hitting store shelves this week. Being in a little town in Ohio. If you're familiar with Ohio at all, we've got Bowling Green and Toledo. I'm just a little bit south of that. Like, we don't get a whole lot of stuff, but starting to see Shazam was hitting places. And one of the first places, I don't know if it was in DC Universe Classics Collectors or if it was the Toy Syndicate on Facebook, but someplace somebody had done a review of it and said that these were found in Ohio. And I was completely blown away by that, thinking, oh, holy crap, that's in my state. This could be feasible. So I think they started to hit Monday, Tuesday around the area. And by Thursday, I was able to go into my local Walmart and just see rows of Shazam. So I saw one of, I can never pronounce his name, this guy, Dr. Z. I don't know. I'm always gonna butcher stuff, but I only saw one of him and probably like 8 or 9 Shazams on the peg. So I picked up 2. So this one is actually for my good buddy Stu Murray 47. So the unboxing that you're gonna see, I've already got him out of package. So I kind of want to go over the packaging with this. And the funny thing is, I've been kind of pre-ordering some stuff from Paul Mart, going through the Batman wave that's going to come out, hopefully, knock on wood, in June. I have that whole entire wave now pre-ordered. I was eventually going to get around to pre-ordering probably Shazam. Paul Mart had it listed on his store as a March release, and here we are in mid-February, and this is already hitting store shelves. So I haven't been back to his site to see if he's updated his website at all, but I really feel like, and this is my own personal opinion, that we've heard that McFarlane Toys is going to be having the DC license, and Spin Masters is also going to have the DC license. Like, their DC Warner Brothers is breaking up the DC copyright license for multiple vendors, because Mattel has had it for over a decade now, which has been cool. and we could get into all the hits and misses and things like that. But I think for the most part, a lot of us DC Universe Classics collectors have been very happy overall with everything that they've done. Probably right before we get into the multiverse, and then you can see some of the multiverse Justice League figures up here, and I've got the Batmobile. There's Steppenwolf and some Parademons and stuff like that. So some of those are hit or miss. But I think the Rebirth figures that Mattel is producing right now is really starting. It's, I don't know the best way to say this. It's, without sounding mean, it's almost too little too late. Unless this is their swan song, like they are going to go out with a bang, and it's going to make people wish that Mattel was still had the license. And I'm like, if they're putting that much attention and care into the product now, why weren't they doing that before? Distribution, I think, is still a major problem. I think flooding the market with a lot of stuff, like perfect example, there's only 2 figures in this wave. And there's no collect and connect. They very could have easily done a collect and connect. And Mattel has shown it before with Wonder Girl and Wonder Woman, the Teen Titans Wonder Girl, and the Dark Knight Returns Wonder Woman. I forget who the collect and connect was. Small little guy. There was only 2 pieces for a collect and connect. They could have done a Billy Batson as a collect and connect for this, and gotten away with having 3 figures in this wave. Seeing this figure, and I'm kind of blathering here just a little bit because I haven't got a chance to talk to you guys for a while, makes me go, how cool would it have been to see the Shazam family all together? But I think knowing what we know with the future lines that are going to come out from Mattel, maybe this is the safe way to go with just 2 figures from this wave. So onto the figure here real quick. We've got the, I would say classic, the more traditional now from the last couple years of the multiverse packaging from Mattel. I think it really lends itself to Rebirth, with it being their blue thematic covers. Nice image of Zachary Levi there, pretty much on all sides of the package. It's got a nice textured, you can even see the textured, just the printing of the boxes for Mattel this last hurrah for 2019, I think, unless they change the packaging, would be really cool. A little sidebar is for the Batman wave, since it's Batman's 80th anniversary. It'd be really cool to go with an all black packaging variant of this and have, like, with a little Batman 80 years, logo imprinted somewhere. I doubt that they're probably going to go to that length. They're probably going to stay pretty much traditional the whole year, but we'll see at San Diego Comic-Con and Toy Fair and some other things coming up. So I want to say Dr. Zhivago, and I know that's wrong. I don't know why I cannot think. And it does not list his name on the package. So for me to say that Shazam is one of my favorite DC characters and I cannot remember this dude's name, it really makes me feel stupid. But so the read up on this, it's really small. It's just written in a couple of the languages here. It says, all it takes is the word Shazam for Billy Batson to transform into a magic, powerful superhero. And that's it, just written in other languages. I really like, and we get some other hands here. Now, I wasn't doing my due diligence. Superman Rebirth is upstairs, and his flight hands are upstairs. So I don't have those with me to go, oh, I think these are probably the same hand. I would fully expect them to be the same hand, but neither here nor there. So with the little magic of the internet, we'll unbox this guy. And there we go, like I said. So this is my good buddy Stu Murray 47s. And I'm also going to use this as a base to kind of be able to display some of the figures, because I want to get some up higher up. Again, this would not be the ideal way that I would review something on the channel. But as you can tell right off the bat, look at the double elbow. Now, this was something I used to complain about on the channel, and I think it kind of still bothers me. Don't get me wrong. I love the double elbow, and I know how things have to work to make a figure. But seeing the little cutout here of where the elbow goes together, that always used to kind of bother me. Like, now I've got a gap here. But being able to do this motion and have him be able to look at his arms like, yeah, look at that. I'm a superhero. I thought it's really cool. Um, he is larger than the Justice League figures that you see back there, and I do have some of them up here. Now, I could say in my own mind, he is known as the Big Cheese, so maybe he could be bigger than, maybe he could be bigger than Batman. Probably shouldn't be bigger than Wonder Woman. And you could argue and go, he probably shouldn't be bigger than Superman, but he towers over Superman. He is the same height as the Multiverse Aquaman figure, which I have not reviewed on the channel, but you will see him here. Again, whole video thing. So I could believe and go, okay, maybe Aquaman's bigger, but at least I'm kind of hoping this is the size that they're going for. Again, Mattel is always kind of over the, like, I think for each wave or each iteration that they come out with, the figures stay, okay, here's our height for these figures, and then the next batch that comes around, they're off a little bit more. So anyway, so the articulation on this guy, first of all, I really, really like the sculpt of the figure. That's probably one of the better face sculpts that I have seen Mattel do in quite some time. The smirk that they have there, I'm not getting any crossed eyebrows. Yeah, his eyebrows, he doesn't have a unibrow at all. His eyebrows are animated. One's raised a little higher because of the smirk that he's doing. It looks like Zachary Levi. I mean, I don't say it's 100% exactly like Zachary Levi, but it's pretty darn close. You can look at it and go, that's Zachary Levi. That's who that's supposed to be. I don't know if I'm totally crazy about the cape being short. I like a longer cape on my Shazam and characters. I even kind of complain about Robin having a short cape. I do have a couple other Shazams, and they're just right off the camera here. 1 second, I can get to one rather pretty quickly. So we'll leave him set here. And here's the other one. So this is the signature line Shazam here. They had, the real crazy big hood here. Got this from my buddy Chapman Films. I still really dig this Shazam. Yes, some people still want to call him Captain Marvel. I always knew him as Shazam as a kid growing up, I think just from the superpowers figure and just other things that I saw. So the height of these two figures is not off that much. You can see the movie figure is just a little bit taller here, but I think kind of in person, I think I might have had him tipped just a little bit, but they're actually pretty close. So the articulation on this guy, you can see we've got the double elbow here. There is a wrist swivel right here. So that'll swivel around. This will actually come out, of course, because we've got the flight hands. He comes with an open hand, which this is really nice. Like there's some figures that in the past they've done some Batman figures that have a closed fist, and you're like, great, I can't put a batarang or a rope or have Batman hold on to anything. Or some figures like a Superman, their fist would always be in a constant fist pose, and you're like, well, crap, I wish they could do something. That they gave us a fist, they gave us an open hand to hold something, and they gave us, make sure I get the right hand in here, a flight hand. So there we go. So there you can say, hi, there I am. So that they gave us that, I think is really pretty cool. I believe the other figure in the wave does also have two hands, a closed fist and an open hand, because I think he can hold like his magic 8-ball or whatever. So we've got the double jointed elbow, which again, I mean, he can actually salute, which is kind of cool. My gosh, I may put him on my shelf like that. That might be how he goes. We have the bicep swivel, and we have a rotation in the arm 360, the classic DC Universe Classics shoulder there. Head can look down, and it can look down rather well, which I like that a lot. He can't look, I mean, he can look up a little bit more, and he can look up better than what Superman could from Rebirth. So to get him in the flight pose, again, this is something I want to say there's one or two other figures from Mattel that they gave this diaphragm swivel to. So this is where it's a little odd. I like the figure. I dig it quite a bit, but we've got this diaphragm. The ab crunch is kind of not there in the traditional sense of the word, but he can turn up here, and he can also turn at the waist. So I can get him to turn two different directions in the opposite way. So that's a little odd. That's an odd choice that you would have the upper diaphragm swivel and give us a waist swivel all in the same quadrant. So, I mean, I don't know. It's probably more for some different posability to be able to get out of him. Like maybe now he's doing some calisthenics here. So, again, I don't mind this. I just find it a little odd. But again, it's Mattel doing something new. I guess at some point, I wonder how far down the line they were until Mattel realized, yeah, I think we're going to lose the license. Was this their brand new way of going, all right, we're going to come out all guns swinging? Now, he looks a little wide. His upper torso kind of flares out a little bit and then gets, you know, here is really pretty good. And here is really pretty good. It's in the middle where the two are that look, it's a little off. You know, on your shelf, it's not so bad. You know, the ribs could be a little bit bigger, or he's, you know, flexing a little bit. So it doesn't make me hate the figure. I still really like it. The sculpt is really good. The detail is excellent. I've been looking over this figure all over the place, and I can't find any paint apps or smudges. The detail on the back of the cape was done very, very nicely. I wish I had the other Shazam, the DC Universe Classic Shazam, closer by that I could get to look at the back of this cape and compare it with the other one. You can see the hood here is down, which this Shazam probably should have been sculpted that way as well, but I get it. And again, looking at the two Shazams, I think the longer cape works better. Speaking of cape, if you go to the Multiverse, you know, Justice League line, which this figure is a part of, we have the soft goods cape and then the plastic cape. I know a lot of people like the soft goods cape. I almost kind of expected Shazam to be that way, but now looking at the detailing they put here, they probably had to think, well, we're not going to be able to print that on the fabric and get it to lay just right, so we're probably going to have to go plastic. I almost just kind of wish they were all plastic. I know a lot of people are like, boo. For me, they're going to stand on the shelves, and I want the cape to look like it's there and it's real, rather than being this chintzy piece of plastic or chintzy piece of fabric that people are cutting off and trying to put on a better cape on. I think that would make the figure be a little more expensive. That's just me, to each his own. So, like I said, we have and it's hard to get the lower waist to swivel. Let me get this thing in focus here. Ooh, there we go. So, the upper thigh swivel is here. This is the new, I keep wanting to call them the T-jointed legs. It is the ball peg T-joint for me. Kind of this is how Superman from Rebirth is, and a couple other ones. Mattel's kind of going back and forth between how they're articulating their figures. I don't mind this so much. Superman, I thought, was a little bit more gappy in here than what Shazam is. He does support a double jointed knee. So we've got a double jointed elbow, a double jointed knee. I mean, look at the crazy bend that we can get here. I don't know what kind of karate chop flight pose this is, Billy. Maybe just because he's inexperienced. You can kind of see his butt here due to just the way the peg sits in the leg. But it's not, I mean, and that comes back into a kick. I mean, this is really articulated. For as much as we would complain about Mattel, that in their last year of producing figures, they're coming out with articulation like this. Like, I can get that leg to spin around clear to the back and up over his butt from behind. There's no way a DC Universe Classics from before it was going to do anything like that. Not that you want to pose anybody like that, but I can get him sitting Indian style and meditating. I mean, tell me that's not a decent amount of articulation here. I could set him on the shelf like this. Going down to the feet, check it out. Foot hinge and ankle rocker. So they went all out on articulation for this guy, sculpting for the figure, and it makes me go, man, Mattel. Let's get the camera here to focus. Bring it back, bring it back. There we go. Right here. Look at this guy. This was just something that, see, I always hate when I get so close to the camera, I end up messing it up. Let's see if I can fix this really quick here. Let's bring in, I'll do some height adjustments. At least you can kind of see the height here. So let me bring up Superman now that Shazam has fallen. See, ill prepared here on a live stream video. But hey, that's what you get with a live stream video. You never know. Here is Superman. So let me make him stand up here. So right off the bat, you can clearly see the height size here. Let's get this camera here to focus. Let's focus him. Following back, following back, following back. Probably not going to do it. But you can see the heights here. And knowing that this is the Multiverse Justice League line, we can bring up Aquaman that I just dropped his trident. So Aquaman is in the same height scale as Shazam is. There we go. Stand up, buddy. So you can see that those two, actually Aquaman is a little bit taller, not by much. And then you can kind of see the drop off from Superman down to Aquaman. Come on. Not going to stand. And of course, I got him standing on boxes, not a straight level. And then we've got Batman. So you can already kind of tell in these soft goods cape from the Multiverse line that they look funny. So actually, I more appreciate that. And you can see even the heights from the Justice League Batman to Superman. You've got this wave that your big superhero is in a different size. So really are both standing right around the same height there, even though I'm holding them up. I've got him feet to feet, so he's clearly looking at Shazam's chest symbol right there. So yeah, that is what it is. So this was a quick look of figures falling off from Rob. I just want to be able to get a quick look at Shazam here, and got to go in. You should remember to go into the settings of the camera and be able to have it follow me here. So while he's in focus, here is Shazam. I think this is a really good figure. There's only 2 figures in the wave, and as excited I am as about this figure, and here we are. See, now we're all back in focus. As I'm excited about this figure, what has me really excited are the figures that are going to come after this. Potentially, as long as everything holds true from Mattel, we have got the entire Batman wave. Let's see if I can remember all of them. We've got Red Robin, Red Hood, Katana, the Beast, KG Beast, Alfred, Grayson Batman. I think there's 6 in that wave, if I'm remembering correctly, as long as they don't break them up. No, yeah. And the Collected Connect figure is Killer Croc. Then you get into that's the June wave, the May wave, if that holds true. I can't remember all those, but that has Nightwing, Starfire, Wally West, Flash, There was a couple others in there, and that Collect and Connect that's the Ninja Batman wave that also has Ninja Batman in it. So I'm really happy with this figure. For me, he's going to sit right up there with the Mattel Justice League figures, since that's the same universe of movies, and he's going to look great up there. And with a little bit of perspective, I could kick him back. But then I might believe that Shazam, the Big Cheese, might be a little bit bigger than some of the other heroes. Probably not, but it's not enough that I'm jumping up and down. I'm glad that Mattel is doing what they're doing right now, and that we're going to, I think, be in for a real treat for this last year. I hope all the figures make me feel this happy going forward. I think it'll be a great way for Mattel to go off out into the distance and let McFarlane Toys take over from there. So that's the end of this video. Sorry for the fuzziness of the camera there, and we'll try and get up some proper reviews up here, and maybe we'll do a revisit of Shazam later on under the proper lights, and I'll take some really good pictures and I'll put them up on my Robert Myers Facebook page /Rob's Rogues. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.